Welcome to episode 12 of the CoDaKrew podcast. As you may or may not have noticed, this week is international break, so we are not coming at you with a Premier League episode. Instead, today we are talking about the North American equivalent of the Euros. As Canadian fans, we are going to be presenting you our review of the CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinals, leg 1. Joining me today are the usual suspects. That's me, Corey, and Kaibo. We have a fresh face coming at you today. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Swapnil, and my involvement with the podcast is that I do editing for some shorts as well as starting recently all of the Premier League episodes. But now that we've got a nice big international break, we decided to do something a bit different for you guys, and I thought I would hop on in the meantime.
Let's go
All
swap
right, cool.
now.
Whoa.
Massive dubs in the chat. Corey, start us off.
All right. The first match we'll be talking about will be Canada versus Suriname. We gotta rep Canada right now. So
All right.
Um,
Okay, well, first off, I want to say I think we really dominated this match. I mean, it might not show so much in the score because we didn't actually get a goal in the net until the 82nd minute, but I think we had 13 shots throughout the game versus Suriname's 2, and they didn't hit anything on target. We got 5 shots on target. So, I mean, I think we
Yeah,
did pretty well for this
this
first
is a
game.
chance for Dane St. Clair, who is usually not our
mm.
starting goalkeeper, to prove himself, but he
yeah,
did not
but
have the
he
chance to prove himself.
Right. Not
yeah
a single save necessary.
yeah we could have played with no goalie, literally.
We
I
could
mean
have
that's fair,
played
but
injured Alfonso Davies as goalie, and we would be fine.
probably yeah. But I'm gonna be honest though. Going into this game, I kind of expected Canada to win a little bit more. Like 1-0 for Canadian standards, right? I feel like that's a little low, right? But a win is a win. I'm not complaining, right? But I do want to point this out, right? Canada had 4 yellow cards and Suriname had 3. And is that just like normal for like just North American, South American football? Like I know, like, do you just have
Oh,
yellow
this
cards?
oh this
Like,
guy doesn't know North American football. Okay, I should explain that Kaibo is a North American casual, and that's also why he expected Canada to score more goals against Suriname. So Central American teams, their entire strategy is playing extremely rough, especially at home, and so it's very hard to score goals against Central American teams at home, even when you are significantly better than them. We played Suriname 3 years ago in World Cup qualifiers, and it was also a two-leg match. The first match was in Suriname, just like this game, and we only won 1-0. But the away leg, we won 3-0. So I am absolutely not worried at all about this match. A 1-0 win is about what I expected for us to be able to do away. Because I know that once they come to, I don't know if it's BMO Field or where we're playing, but whatever it is, they're going to go to Canada and we're going to destroy them.
I think it is BMO. Actually, speaking of stadiums, when we were looking at the highlights earlier, the stadium that this match was played in, I think it's like the Franklin Essed Stadium. That's the name. It is crazy. Artificial turf with the capacity of like 3,500, and everyone was behind a metal fence in the audience.
that's
It's
so
nuts.
Yo.
funny to me.
This
Yeah,
is like the backyard stadium, bro. This is literally Kaibo, your backyard.
dude,
This
I'm
is
telling you, if you go to like the nearby park, like 5 minutes away from my house, that field is so much better than whatever they had in Suriname, if you
Okay,
want to
let's
call it.
not be rude. They are
Like
undergoing tough economic times right
they
now.
are absolutely, I
Let's not
agree,
crap on
but
Suriname
I
because
just
they're
want to
doing
talk
their
about
best.
the discrepancy that you have between European countries and their leagues and their stadiums and their infrastructure, even compared to countries like Argentina and Brazil, who already have pretty well established infrastructure. Like just the difference in that is crazy to me. And it's not just in the stadiums. Like you see it in like the camera quality. And I also feel like you see it in the weather sometimes too.
Oh my
Like
god.
like I know that has nothing to do
Uh,
with it, but if we look at the Costa Rica Panama game, like dude, like why was like the atmosphere, like the rain was brown, I swear, dude. Like
yo,
no dude, I mean serious. Like what's
Yeah, no,
wrong?
I agree with Kaibo. I feel like we get way more inclement weather here during football games for some reason.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen.
yeah.
I understand.
Maybe it's
I
just
understand the crapping, but the last time a North American person crapped, they went to Trinidad and lost, and therefore didn't qualify for the World Cup. So that's why I always caution against shitting on Central American teams' pitches.
Yo, but
Okay,
okay.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I think we gotta obviously we gotta respect like the economic circumstances, bro.
No, obviously we do, but I just want to like. It's just interesting how those economic standards are literally reflected in sport, and it's like so obvious. I just find that
Uh-huh.
really interesting.
But
Yeah.
I think when you were talking about like Argentina and Brazil and all that, I think they probably have the economics like standards to
No,
build
to be
like
fair, I actually
good
have no idea
fields.
what the hell Kaibo's talking about because like many of the biggest stadiums in the world are in South America.
No, they are, but if you, dude, just look at how the games are shot. Like, you, like I don't know how to describe it. You can't like you can just instantly tell that it's just like of a lower quality, you know. And like I don't really understand why, because like yeah, I do agree with you. Like some of the biggest stadiums in the world, some of the biggest teams in the world are in South America. So I just don't understand why there's such a discrepancy in viewing the matches. That's all.
Wait, I know we're interested in shitting on the pitch right now, but can you just say one thing about the actual game that we haven't
Yep.
mentioned yet?
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
I watched this game live, and a lot of people, and some of the people that are watching were really worried that we weren't scoring. And I just want to say, I was at no point worried because I know that we have a man on our team named Jonathan David, and Jonathan David wearing a Canadian jersey after the 80th minute is Lionel Messi reincarnated. So I always knew that he was gonna either score or get an assist in like the 85th minute or something, which is what happened. So you
David
know,
is like a mini Leverkusen, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Consistent with it.
David is like base. Yeah, this guy's practically a Leverkusen player. In fact, I hope he goes to Leverkusen. Like this guy needs to get a transfer, bro.
Yeah, I think like some other clubs have had interest in him because he's doing pretty well at Lille right now.
I
So
mean,
Mhm.
he
maybe a
probably is the
transfer is
best
in order.
striker in League One.
I mean, this guy
Would
has scored 20 goals minimum every season for like 4 seasons in a row in League One. It is insane how he is still at Lille. Like this guy is by far the best striker on this continent. Okay, I don't want to hear anyone saying something about Balogun, blah blah. Shut no. This guy is worth like 60 million or something. Like if this
okay, I
guy
don't know
was
about
English, bro, Man United would have signed him for 120 million 2 years ago, and he'd be a bust by now.
No, you're right though. That is
Uh-huh.
way too accurate. Yeah, but I don't know. Do you have anything other talking points about this Canada game, or
No,
are we
I just
good?
wanted to mention him.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so is that it?
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
All right, then we'll move on. We'll move over to our neighbors down south.
Mm,
Moving over to the U.S., they squeaked a 1-0 win against Jamaica.
Jamaica, yeah.
Yeah.
A much bigger stadium this time. I guess that's nice.
Much nicer stadium. Like I
Yo!
honestly
Massive respect to the Suriname stadium, bro. They probably put a bunch of work in there.
Yeah,
Can't.
yeah
that's
no they
the entire national economy, bro. You don't understand.
no you're right you're right it probably is yeah but I do want to say like there was quite a big discrepancy between even just Jamaica USA and Suriname Canada so
Hmm.
just another interesting point
All
yeah
right, but enough about the stadium. Let's talk about the play because Jamaica looked real good in this game.
Right.
They did
I
everything
mean,
but score.
yeah, the Canada Suriname match had like I think we were very much dominant, but as for Jamaica USA, uh, Jamaica definitely had a lot of chances to score. I mean, there was that penalty first half. Uh, Goods. What do you think of Matt Turner, guys?
I
Matt
mean
Turner is like Matt Turner is amazing for the U.S. Honestly, I swear every like major tournament he just turns it up a notch.
yeah you know who he reminds me of like Pickford like he just turns it up for the national team it's like two different players
Hmm.
and I mean again
Mm.
player of the match. So congrats to him. He played well, but in a way, I also feel like he didn't play well necessarily. Okay, because obviously the penalty that was him, right? He played well there, but I feel like a lot of the chances, like Jamaica should have objectively just scored. Like I don't feel like Matt Turner played particularly well on those plays. It was just the fact that Jamaica just didn't score and he just got unlucky.
Right. I mean,
That's true.
there was also that play in the 66th minute. Like Holgate was very close to scoring. He was like a minute, not a minute, a meter in front of the net. Yunus Musa, great tackle from him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably
Yeah.
saved
I want
Jamaica's
to
lead.
say this is like the most normal behavior. This is the most Jamaica thing to ever Jamaica in all of Jamaica because Jamaica are like the biggest chokers on in this continent. Last time in the Nations League, they played the USA in the semifinals and were mere seconds away from winning that match before choking it in extra time. Uh, they also, I mean, they're just perennial chokers in general. So, they had double the shots of the US in this game, and it's not a surprise to me that they weren't able to score.
Yeah, I mean, quite unfortunate, honestly. Like Jamaica looked really good.
Mhm.
Again, you were telling me how Jamaica just like generational chokers. I didn't really believe you, but I watched like the highlights of the game. Yeah, you're right. Like it was surprising, very surprising.
Yeah, but hopefully they'll be able to turn it around at some point because they could be really dangerous in CONCACAF.
Now,
Right.
I do want to be fair to the US. They were missing Balogun and Weah. This was not their A team. So, like overall, as a performance for, I guess this is the first really important game for Pochettino, right? As a
Yeah.
coach. What are our first impressions, guys?
Mm,
I think him and the U.S. are doing pretty well for themselves right now. I mean, they were struggling with Berhalter. I think we can all agree on that. He
I
was
Yeah, I
think
not
mean,
the guy for he was not the guy for
absolutely.
the job.
he
Um,
did his job, but it's not the most convincing.
Right. I
Yeah,
mean,
I will.
I have to agree.
a win against Jamaica would be expected. So,
Yeah,
assuming they go through to the semifinals, which they should, we'll see what happens there.
I mean, it is
I,
true,
I-
but I don't feel we're only saying that just because it's a win. Like objectively, it shouldn't have been a win. It should have been a tie. Like
this is true.
That's a good point.
it's like the only reason why we're saying that is because I mean Jamaica just got unlucky, and I don't
Job
feel like you
done.
can base Pochettino's performance based on just a little bit of luck. Like objectively, like if he played any other sort of competent team, this wouldn't have worked, and he would have
Wait,
lost.
by the way, let me just say, this is a crazy stat. Y'all are not going to believe this, but it's real. I heard this from Deadball TV. Shout out to them, by the way. Pochettino right now has the same amount of competitive wins away in non-friendly matches in North America as Greg Berhalter got in 3 years, and that number is one.
What?
Yo,
Did Berhalter
yo,
actually have one away win?
In case you were wondering what the hell happened last Nations League, well, the U.S. lost to Trinidad and Tobago in their away leg.
Right.
I just wanted
damn,
to put that out there.
All
that's
right,
quite tragic.
where did Greg Bunhalter win?
I
Honduras
think he won against Honduras. I think.
in World Cup qualifying. Yeah. So that's the
I
only
mean,
one.
to be fair, that's not an easy match. Let's think
That's
so.
true. I mean,
But that's still
we'll
pretty
be
fun.
Dog, he
touching
had
on that
3 years,
match
bro.
later.
I
Yeah,
don't.
with
He bro
Honduras.
had 3 years. Bro lost to Trinidad, bro. I don't want to hear it.
All right, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. You're right.
Mm,
All right then, is that all we have for this one?
I
Yeah.
guess so. Actually, I just wanted to bring up a little thing. So, for anyone who's maybe unfamiliar with the Nations League format, because to be fair, it is a bit complicated. Basically, Canada and the U.S. as well as Mexico and Panama uh, entered in the quarterfinals because they were the top four teams in the CONCACAF rankings, so they got seeded in the quarterfinals. And I was looking at the rankings, and I thought it was really interesting that the U.S. was ranked third with 1,776 points.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We
What a
love
coincidence.
freedom.
Just a thought.
America.
They're honoring the George Washington with that one.
What is a kilometer? Rah!
All right, next
Oh,
match.
by the way, I should say
Oh,
the the fact that all of these first legs were away for these seeded teams. That's why I'm kind of giving the USA and Canada a bit more leeway. I should just
right.
mention that.
Yeah, that's another thing is all four of the quarterfinal seeded teams played away.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean all of them won except Mexico.
Well,
Except,
we don't
well,
want to
we'll get
spoil
into it
that one
later.
real quick. Yeah.
Mexico.
All right, but we'll get that. We'll get that one later. I won't because that one is. I know we'll have a lot to talk about for that one. But
For sure.
first, let's go through Panama versus Costa Rica. It was a 1-0 Panama win.
Right. When we
Yeah.
were talking about the inclement weather earlier, yeah, right
Oh
here.
yeah, it was quite tragic. Quite tragic.
Yeah. I don't know,
Oh yeah.
man.
I think it's quite tough playing in that weather. I'll be honest. I mean, yeah, it's a bit foggy.
I
Evens
mean, it
things out a
is,
bit.
but like both teams are playing on the same pitch, right? Both teams they have the same conditions, so I
True.
don't
Right.
really
Costa
like.
Rica is more used to this pitch, though. It's kind of like Bolivia. I mean, it's not as extreme as Bolivia, but there is a certain advantage that Costa Rica gets by playing in their home pitch.
Okay, that's fair. I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but clearly it didn't help them enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, yeah.
well, I should say one thing, by the way. Panama, historically, or at least recently, have had Costa Rica completely in their pockets. This is Panama's third win in a row in Costa Rica. Not against Costa Rica, in Costa Rica. I think
In
it's like five
Costa
or six
Rica.
wins in a row.
Oh wow.
It's 5 or 6 wins in a row if we're saying all games against Costa Rica. So other teams, like the other big teams in North America, struggle to play in Costa Rica, but not Panama, bro. Panama like have them on lock.
So
Yeah.
just to be clear, Panama's recent record against Costa Rica is 3 wins away. And Greg
And 3 wins
Berhalter's
at home.
record is 1 win away. I'm just clearing that up. Okay.
Wait, Greg
Yeah.
Berhalter beat them away?
Oh no. I just mean Greg Berhalter's had 1 away win, right?
Yes. Greg
Yes.
Berhalter has had 1 away win in
And
yes,
Panama's had
and
three
Panama has
against
had
a
three
single other
against
team.
Costa Rica alone. Yes,
Right. Okay.
yes. Just to be clear,
You
this is
gotta
why
feel
this
bad
is
for
why having a
Greg
good coach matters,
Berhalter.
and Thomas Christensen is infinitely
Berhalter
better
should
than
have
Luke
been
Walton
out
here.
so long ago, man. I don't know what they were thinking keeping him around. Anyways,
They had the
Panama,
chance
Costa
to get
Rica.
Jesse Marsh, and they passed him up
Right.
to re-sign Greg Berhalter.
Well, I'm very pleased with that. He's done very well for us.
Generational fumble.
Hey, but
Okay. Back
massive
to
dubs
this
for
match.
Canada.
I think Mascara made some pretty good saves in the first half.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I feel like it impressed me.
Uh-huh.
But player of the match, I didn't see this in the highlights, but Cesar Blackman.
Bro is just saying that. Bro is
Congratulations.
just saying that because of SofaScore.
Yeah, I
Tell
am
me
just
what
saying
this
that because
man
of the
did.
score.
What did he
No,
do,
but
bro?
I saw he had some pretty good plays out there.
According to SofaScore, he won every single duel,
He
ground
did.
and air,
Yeah.
right? 7 for 7 in the ground, 2 for 2 in the air. Um, great passing accuracy. Had quite a few long balls, crosses. No crosses, but had quite a few long
No, he
balls.
played well. I just want to say that Kaibo, you're exposing yourself. I just wanted to expose you. But no,
Yeah, that's
I mean
okay.
you are technically not
That's
wrong. He did
okay.
play very
Hey,
well.
to be fair, it's okay. I mean, nobody watches North American football anyway, so it's okay.
Bro,
You know,
shut the
it's
hell
alright.
up.
Oh, come on, bro. Come on. It's
Hey,
okay.
Darian, you might be
Come on
like
now.
the entire streaming base.
Yeah.
Unironically.
Dar- Darian's making this podcast just so he can watch it back. He's the target
This
audience.
is true. No, this is actually true. I am one soccer's yearly revenue was just me.
Nah, you're right. Darian is single-handedly funding the
Uh,
entire Panama national team.
Well, I mean,
It's
I
all
guess
good.
there's not too much to say with this match. I mean, after that pen from Fajardo, I think it was pretty comfortable for Panama.
Yeah,
No, this is
it
like
yeah.
the
was. Yeah.
Costa Rica curse at its finest. Panama didn't play that well, to be honest with you, and they just win anyways because it's Costa Rica. Like
Right.
Yeah. It was
they're
actually
just they're
pretty
just
tight in terms of stats.
there was nothing they could do.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
fair. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if there's nothing else to comment on there, I guess it leaves us with one last match.
Yes, this one is quite exciting.
The
Quite tragic
absolute
for Mexico.
fraud, the most fraudulent team, the second most fraudulent team, the most fraudulent team is Jamaica.
Uh,
2-0 Honduras win.
Yeah.
wow. Um,
And
I
Mexico,
also
mean,
what are
Mexico
we
had less
doing,
shots
Mexico? Come on,
on target.
Jesus.
This is
Yo,
just sad.
this team beat Germany in the World Cup 6 years ago. Like this was
Hmm.
like not even like a long time ago. They genuinely were really good in recent memory.
I mean, what happened?
Well, for one, they're not starting their best players, and there's a lot of corruption in the Mexican FA. But to be fair, there's also a lot of corruption in the American FA.
What about the
And
Honduras
there's
FA?
sort of been there's sort of been a lack of, not to say this new generation is terrible, but like, you know, they like who's like compare their goalie now to like Ochoa, dude. Like, there's a difference there.
I mean, Ochoa played this match though, but I mean, he had
Oh,
no
he
help. To
did,
be
but
fair,
okay. Also, yeah. Well, he's not playing all their matches now, and also he's like 40 billion years old. I was
yeah,
giving that as like one example.
that's true. Yeah, it's honestly quite unfortunate, but I don't know, man. Mexico, put it together, man. I don't know what's happening, dude.
Like look at like Mexico's fullbacks, bro. Like this is a national tragedy.
To
Quite
be
pass.
fair, though, I
Wait,
mean they were playing in San Pedro Sula. Uh, anyone who
Okay.
knows about the Canadian men's national team's recent history would know
Well,
that
10
we
years
have
ago,
faced
10 years
much worse
ago,
defeats against Honduras.
we didn't have any of the players we have now. I don't even think like a single player on our starting lineup now was like even playing for Canada back then.
okay,
Damn.
but look, Mexico can still come back from this, right? Just next leg.
They can, they
Okay.
can.
Here's
I
the
mean,
thing. Last Nations League, they were paired against Mexico in the quarterfinals, and the first game, they were paired against Honduras in the quarterfinals, and the first
right.
game in Honduras, they lost 2-0, but they still ended up winning the tie. So it's
And
not
Exactly.
panic mode yet.
the second leg as well is in Toluca. It's like very high up. I guess it's one of the closest things you could get to a Bolivian stadium, but in North America.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to really break down a team, I think that wouldn't be a bad place to do it.
Good
Mm.
point. Good point.
I mean, the fact they still conceded twice to Louis Palma, who is literally like the backup striker for Celtic, is
For
still like a
Celtic, yeah.
tragedy.
Close.
I
Hey,
mean,
to be
I
fair though, he popped off. Like,
I
if you
guess
actually
we
look at the goals
were
he scored, they were not easy goals.
we were
This is
discussing
true.
match MVP
In
earlier. I guess there's really no debate
Well,
here,
if
you know?
they're not easy to score, that means Mexico fumbled, bruh.
No, it just
in recent
means that
memory,
Luis
in the
Palma
last
just
like
plays good.
1 month, this team has lost to Honduras and drawn against Valencia's B team. Like it's not like they're down bad right now. It's not looking good for Mexico.
It's okay, honestly. You know,
And
when
wait,
Mexico plays
wasn't
bad, Canada's just gonna play good. It's okay. I just see a win. I just see this as a window of opportunity, and I'm okay with it.
question wasn't Luis Palma subbed on as well?
Yeah,
And
he
he
was
got
sub.
subbed
Oh
on and then scored like a
yeah.
minute later.
It's pretty funny.
So he
Wait,
wasn't even in the starting 11. That's
Yeah.
that's something.
when did this guy get subbed
Wow.
on? Oh, 63rd minute subbed
63rd
on.
minute, scored
64th
in the
minute
64th.
63rd
Yeah.
minute subbed on. 64th minute goal.
Goat.
Yo, he just absolutely changed the game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Wow.
Should have had him on the start. The Honduras could have, scored more.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
That's true. I mean, 2-0, like you can still overcome that in the home leg, but they scored a little more. This series would be all wrapped up.
Yeah. I think these other three series are wrapped up for the most part. Like Panama's probably pretty
Yeah.
comfortable at home
I mean,
versus
it's
Costa
because
Rica.
the fact it's the curse. So the curse alone just makes it very unlikely for Costa Rica
Yeah.
to make a comeback.
I think the US can score one or two more. I think Canada can as well.
Yeah,
Mexico
Suriname and
has got
Jamaica's best opportunities were clearly like these
yeah.
matches.
Mexico has got a lot to make up for.
But clearly, we
Right
still
now,
think.
wait, serious question. Who's the favorite to win this series right now? Mexico or Honduras?
Dude, I'm sorry, it's
Think
Honduras.
about
I
it.
just don't see Mexico coming back.
It genuinely might be Honduras.
I
Like I know like
Yeah,
you're hanging
it
your
is
hat on them
Honduras.
now, but I don't care.
It is Honduras. Like, I'm sorry. It just 2-0. I just like, dude, Mexico just isn't what they used to be. They're not coming back
Like,
from
even
2-0.
2 years ago, or 1 year ago, or whenever it was that they got that comeback, they were better than they are now.
Yeah, it's just not happening. Yeah, unfortunately.
Wait, so can we, before we wrap up this episode, can we briefly talk about how the rest of this league is, how the rest of this tournament is going to go? Because the way I see it, the finals are going to be one side of the semifinals, because of the way the teams are seeded. The semifinals, one of the semifinals is probably going to be Canada vs USA, and the other
Yeah.
one will be Panama vs either Mexico or Honduras. So, like,
All right. Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
Uh-huh.
All
Yeah.
right, guys.
it's
We
like
should.
the
I feel like
Euros
we should.
when Spain vs Germany was the finals. Like Canada, like that semifinal, I feel like is the finals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have
Okay.
to stick up for my country. I think Canada beats America.
Yo, honestly, I
I
do
think
too.
I need Canada to win
Here's the
this
crazy
thing.
thing: this Nations League, the semis and the finals are all going to be played in the U.S. The last Nations League, the semis and finals were all played in the U.S. The
Right.
Nations League before that, the semis and the finals were all played in the U.S.
So
Can
this
we
is not.
I don't. This is not
Damn,
fair, Joe.
sounds
This
like
is
I
just
th-
money.
not
yeah, I think
fair.
some variety would be nice. It seems like everything past the quarterfinals is just at SoFi.
Yeah, I would like please let Canada host one of these tournaments and we water on all of them. The US talks about how they won I think they won every Nations League so far. But maybe that's something to do with the fact that they host every Nations League.
All right, guys. What are your score predictions for Canada USA?
Well,
Um,
we did
Um,
play them in a friendly in the USA and beat them 2-1 very recently. So
right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yep.
gonna say
Honestly, that was my prediction. 2-1 Canada. Um, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah. It's pretty hard to say anything other than 2-1. I'll be real.
Yeah. Do you guys see any team getting a clean sheet?
Like it's a
no,
possibility, but
I
it's
think
hard.
it's either going to be like a one because I think Canada and the US are like more sort of like attacking teams.
Yeah, fair.
So I think side does have if any side does get a clean sheet, it'll be Canada because hot take, right? But we have the best left back in CONCACAF. We have
Oh,
arguably the
hot
best
take,
right back
hot
in
take.
CONCACAF.
Hot take.
We
Wow.
Hot
have
take, yeah, hot take.
objectively the
Hot.
best center back
Wow. That was
in
a
CONCACAF,
scorching take,
and we
Darian. That was a
also
scorching
might
take.
have the second best center back in CONCACAF. All in, we have the best defense in North America. That's inarguable. But
Wow.
we
What a
might have
scorching
like
take, Darian.
we might have like four of the best 6 or 7 defenders in the continent. Hot take, I
Right.
know, but
Oh, wow.
Wow,
uh,
wow. Scorching hot take. Thank you, Darian.
Wow.
I mean,
This
listen.
is some
I think
burning hot, bro.
Bombito and Davies are inarguable. Johnston is
Yeah.
barely
Of course.
arguable, and Cornelius right now the way he's playing at Marseille, pretty
Hey,
good.
Cornelius. I love Cornelius, man. He's
This
the
man
goat.
put Giroud in his pocket a couple months ago. Remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But yeah,
Uh,
honestly, is there anything else we have to discuss, guys, or is that all we got for today?
I think this is a good point to wrap this up.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right.
So,
Yeah.
real quick then, winners for each second leg. I mean,
Uh,
we're saying
I'm
Panama,
gonna
USA, Canada, Honduras, maybe?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go
I
with
think that's.
Mexico win the second leg, but Honduras win the whole like on
What's
aggregate.
the if Mexico
Uh,
scores two because if Mexico scores two, there's
Impossible.
not going to be away goals, right? So
Impossible.
No, it is
what's the
away goals. It is
tiebreaker
away
there? Do
goals.
they have ex?
No,
It
the
is away
tiebreaker is
goals,
away goals.
but do they have any away goals?
Well, they don't. So, oh yeah, so if it's 3-1, then Honduras wins.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
I,
what if it's 2-0, 2-0? Then does that go
Well,
straight to
then they play
pens?
extra time, and if it's still 2-0,
Okay,
2-0, then
extra
they
extra
have
time.
penalties.
Yeah.
It's basically it's the Champions League before the new format.
yeah, that's fair.
I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna say Mexico wins it. I think.
What?
Wins the
Hot.
game or
That
the
is
series.
hot
Oh
take.
no, the game, not the whole
Oh,
thing.
oh, oh, oh. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think if I mean, I think Mexico can score two. It'll be difficult, but I think they have it in them. And if they
okay,
can get
but
it to extra
Wait,
time, I think they can win it there.
big
dude,
if.
Yeah, it is a big if, but I'll give it to Mexico.
wow.
Okay.
Okay, That's fair,
We'll
honestly.
see
But I
though.
do
It's
want to say
definitely
though,
the biggest toss-up out of any of these matches,
it
for
is,
sure.
yeah. But I feel like a lot of these quarterfinals, like they're a lot less close than I hoped. Like I don't know.
Mexico,
What do you
besides
hope?
Mexico, Honduras. Besides Mexico, Honduras.
Yeah, besides Mexico and Honduras, everything is so straightforward, and it's kind of like, in a way, it's still disappointing.
All good, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, besides that sets up a Canada US hopefully sets up a Canada US semifinal, which I think would be pretty exciting.
It
Yeah.
would be, yeah, for sure, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we didn't
banger
get we,
incoming.
we didn't get to play them in the Copa, so we can play them now.
I just said
Yeah, I
banger
mean,
incoming.
yeah, I
All
mean
right.
that's fair, yeah.
All right, let's finish this up, guys. All right, thank
What?
you all for listening to this episode. Drop your thoughts, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, and tune into the Nations League. Honestly, I don't think enough people are watching it right now. To be fair,
This
all
is
of us
true.
except Darian haven't done much Nations League viewing either.
You
But
know,
I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
I've
dude,
looked
fair.
at all these
especially if
highlights.
you're
It
like a
seems
North American and your team is in the Nations League right now, bro, support your
tune in.
country.
Right.
Don't just be like one of those fans who only watches their favorite club, bro. Don't be like Kaibo. Don't just be like, I only watch Liverpool. I'm too sophisticated to watch the Canadian national team. Okay, like,
Dude,
but listen. This is the one form of nationalism that hasn't been canceled yet, so you may as well partake in it.
dude, come on, dude. All
Okay.
right.
I guess yeah. That's our closing comment. Don't be a Kaibo. Watch your national team.
Crazy punchline.
Meow.
Can we make that the title? The title of the video is "Don't be a Kaibo. Watch your national team."
All right, bro. Next week, don't be a Darian. Start watching club football, and don't just watch an
I watch
international
every
football.
Okay.
Leicester City game. What do you mean?
Don't be a Darian. Don't watch like the bottom two teams in FIFA rankings play.
Don't be a glory hunter.
Yo, come on, dude. I'm just not trying to watch two shitty teams that don't have proper infrastructure to play football.
All good, all good. We gotta support North
It's all
American
good though.
football, bro.
Yeah. It's okay. I will start supporting Canada. I'll start watching Canadian games from now on. Yeah, so I'll have a little more to talk about next week.
Yeah. I guess that
All
ends
right.
the video then. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah.
Have a
Thanks
good
everyone for
yeah.
coming.
Yep.
Thank you.